Hello and welcome to the Grad Lab Podcast. My name is Jordan Scribner, and we are back once again with another episode of your definitive podcast for salty old graduate students. Talking, yelling, being grumpy, being inappropriate. You know, the kind of things that we like to do here on the podcast. And if you didn't come here for that, then what are you doing here? Why don't you just take your hand off the mouse, take your hand away from the keyboard, back up your chair, back up yourself, back away slowly, get out of the room. There we go. Everyone who stayed, who is still in the room, you get to enjoy a delightful episode of our podcast once again. This is a fun one recorded with myself, Don Fox, and Allie Pipitone, where we go into some pretty lovely discussions on the nature of intellectual property and online distribution platforms like YouTube and Let's Plays and video game piracy and Star Wars and Batman and we kind of go off on all sorts of things for a while, but more importantly we introduce a new segment, the grab bag, which is where we drop you in right at the beginning of the recording. We're every week now going to pick out a grab bag of comics from one of the lovely shops around town. This week's grab bag is a bunch of issues of The Flash circa 2005 that we grabbed from Morningstar Games here in Savannah, Georgia. Let this be a reminder that the opinions reflected in the Grad Lab podcast are not those of the Savannah College of Art and Design, the School for Creative Careers. They are our own opinions, and we are the shining tigers flying through the diamond sky, and you cannot tell us what to do or what our opinions are. But if you'd like to hang around and listen to them, then you're more than welcome, and we love you for it. Please enjoy. Wait, does Flash become a lantern too? Does everyone become a lantern at some point?
The problem is that I actually really dig this.
I was watching a podcast here. They were playing Lego Batman 3, and the intro cinematic had nothing to do with Batman. It was just like a bunch of the lanterns hanging around because they got like Wonder Woman is a pink lantern. They had like a yellow lantern, a green lantern, then they brought in like a few red lanterns and some blue lanterns and all that stuff. And they keep, I saw an article not long ago where they keep giving lantern powers to like random heroes who already have powers. So like how long is it before Superman also becomes like a lantern of some sort or another?
No, they'll have Harley Quinn as one before.
Yeah, Harley Quinn's gonna definitely.
And they'll have her in Green Lantern's book, and she'll be just putting her ass up to the camera, and she'll have her power ring stuck between her cheeks.
I'm glad I grabbed the Flash one. See, some of these covers are amazing. The reverse Flash tries to reverse
she'll just
amazing.
she'll have a vagina
That's an
piercing
awesome
with a power
kick.
ring.
I know, but where does his foot and the guy's thigh begin?
Yeah, like down
That's
here,
awesome.
where like they got the same reverse color scheme, so it's all blending together. I thought this was the reverse Flash's foot for a second, and I was like, wait,
Well,
this
this
is
is
a shoe.
old.
He's just a...
You could win a copy Nintendo 3D, or just a DS. Not even the good one, the fat gray one. This is old.
Oh man. I love how
Superman.
who's drawn the reverse Flash, because some of the stuff they have the reverse Flash doing is just like awesomely over the top.
Oh my God. I'm just kind of reading boring
Is this
Flash.
like angry, red-eyed, pissed off close up?
Wait, but is he cross-eyed?
He's not
Because
quite.
I can't see it from here. He just looks... Oh, no. Okay.
He
So,
looks
that
really-
shadow on his
Let's
eye,
see
he just looks like he has a lazy eye.
He looks really high under his goggles.
Maybe he is.
don't
That's
know.
how he reverses.
Does the reverse Flash have to run backwards? Is that actually a thing? I'm trying to figure it out because they just have his speed lines and they don't actually show like where he's coming from or anything, so I have no idea what's going on. I swear the Flash's powers are just like he vibrates, right? So he can just vibrate and like make lightning by vibrating. Yeah, I can't tell if Reverse Flash is going backwards or not. He's just like vibrating all the time. Oh. You can buy Lois and Clark and the original Wonder Woman show on DVD.
With Dean Cain?
Yep.
Oh, who needs that? Who wants that?
He looks so smarmy in this picture where he's like taking off his shirt for to reveal the Superman logo.
That was 90. That's 90s sexy.
Got some smolder, and then he puts his hair back to be Superman, and he looks just like Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
These are, I don't know, these are just stories, I guess. The problem is with the interconnectivity thing is that there's never a goddamn point you can jump in. And I kind of realize that now, so every 2 years I got to turn it all over again.
Yeah.
Oh, hey. This was Suicide Squad in 2007.
What even is that? That doesn't look like anything like what they're trying to do now.
Nope. Is that better or worse, though?
I don't know. It's like, how do they get like face tattoo Joker and like
Streetwalker Harley Quinn?
Yeah, out of all that.
Let's face it, Streetwalker Joker.
It's gonna be the big thing. What is it, like next month? Everyone's gonna flip out because Marvel's gonna be like, oh, we're gonna tell you, or no, DC's gonna be like, no, we're gonna tell you the Joker's real name, and then they're gonna pull like a Doctor Who, and he's not even gonna have a real name or anything.
That implies, though, that it's going to be a big deal, that you're going to recognize it, that it's going to have some significance. And they kind of made fun of that in the Justice League cartoon where Lex Luthor takes over the Flash's body. And then he's like, well, at least I can learn the Flash's secret identity. Then takes off his cowl, and he's like, I have no idea who this is. So it's totally worthless information.
That's why I grabbed this Flash one. It's like I kind of actually want to try out the TV show that they have on Netflix right now. I have a couple of friends who raved about it, but then about half of those people also like were really defensive about the Superman Batman movie. So I don't know what to.
Like that's kind of how I feel about the Supergirl show too. Where people are raving about it. And I wonder how much of that is just partly people wanting more stuff like Arrow or, the other ones that they're super big into.
I mean, what is this character who's like, he's like a version of, another weird version of the Flash, but he can only move in circles.
What?
He just like spins around everywhere. This guy, I haven't figured out his name yet, the Twister or the Cyclone or something. Like he literally moves around everywhere, just spinning in circles. Oh wait, here we go. Barry called him a genius cursed by greed. I just called him a psychopath. His name is Roscoe Dillon.
That's it? That's his villain name?
Yeah, he spins. He's basically the Tasmanian devil in DC's superhero form.
Oh, wait a minute.
Really?
Yeah, that's it. They even say that in here.
Wait, no, that's just a pun on the front of the cover. What the hell is the guy's name? His name cannot be Ross. What did
it might just be the top. I mean, that's his...
Roscoe
Dillon.
Alright, let's find out.
He's just top.
Is that it?
He's
the top?
Yeah. The top.
Okay, yeah, that was fine. I thought
That's pretty...
What if his hero name was just like Roscoe Dillon?
That's pretty fun. It's just like... that they actually admit he's just a Tasmanian devil. How is this...
His power is spinning. Except Superman can spin, and the Flash can spin.
But like they always have that thing where like Superman and Flash can both go super speed, but the Flash is faster. So Superman and the Flash can spin, but this guy must spin even faster.
Could you imagine being the person that has to expand that power set, though? In the same way that the Flash can phase through things.
It's just gonna keep going and going and going.
Yeah, man, you could put him in like a centrifuge and he'd power it forever.
It's the same problem I have with Superman. How like eventually they gave him like his ice breath and his regenerative powers and like everything else that they just like randomly they gave him like telekinesis at a few points and hypnosis and stuff. But then it's the same thing like the Flash, who was just fast, but now it's like he can vibrate and he can shift molecules and he can make lightning and he can travel through time.
Yeah,
all that biz.
Like anything that you can kind of apply the word speed to, he can do.
Yeah, but like why keep like adding more and more on top of these characters to the point where there's like nothing nothing different between them as opposed to like I feel like Marvel has Marvel has a better handle on that, where like if they want more superpowers they'll introduce a new character and actually like try something different.
They're getting better about not just remixing their old heroes.
Yeah.
Because they understand that people don't want to see the same thing over and over again, whereas DC just keeps playing the same tune to a slightly different pitch.
Chasing the man-child neckbeards living in the basement that are packaging up each issue like it's gonna be the most valuable gold.
The ones that didn't lose faith after the 90s crash.
You mean the only time when comics actually sold like that? Because they had actually been allowed to appreciate and value properly instead of trying to force it with dumbass events.
Yeah. I wonder if like any of these will actually
like that's usually that's what gets me whenever people talk about the comic speculation boom, is that it's not gonna happen. We're not gonna see that again for like a while. And like, do you think people are gonna be like champing at the bit to get that rare Scott Pilgrim?
I don't know, man.
Oh man. Yeah, I can't. That's
the problem. They're
idea.
never gonna have that moment again because they're not gonna introduce any new iconic characters.
Yeah, and they republish everything so often. It's just like they'll have the issues come out, then the trades, then the omnibus, and then they'll redo the trades and like put out some issue collections for everyone. And they republish them so quickly.
In the digital, nothing is ever out of print, arguably. But I mean, who cares about Superman #1 when in 2 years there's just going to be another Superman #1?
Why is Flash being chased by mind flayers? Like, I'm not complaining about that. Like, I opened this book and don't really know the story because it's the Flash number 227. But
that's the other thing, Jordan. As cranky as that Gwenpool book made me, at least none of it had to do with like me, like the stuff we're talking about DC, them being clueless or just tone deaf or actively just, I don't even know how you describe their stuff half the time. It's just aggressive and awful. And like Image isn't doing anything like that.
No, they don't.
To their credit, they're not like trying to, from what I can tell, they're not trying to push any movies or anything right now.
No, not really. I can't think of anything by Image that they're trying to push really hard. Like and since that's the whole creator, like they're the first ones to push that creator-owned idea, it seems like they let things happen more organically, sort of through that process. I was looking at the Image racks at that Comics and More and at Morningstar yesterday, and I was looking at all of them, going like, these are all kind of interesting. Maybe I'll take a look instead of looking at everything and just going, sick of that, sick of that, sick of that.
Yeah, I made myself look through everything yesterday. That's why I ended up with a bunch of Marvel stuff. That Black Widow book was great, and I gotta realize she hardly talked during it because most of it was just her beating people.
You found
being awesome.
You found a trade of that, right? Not the.
No, I just found those. That's just started.
Okay, yeah.
That's just the second issue.
I did that. Heard good things.
And that was a lot of fun.
That's the same guy who did that Hawkeye recently that everyone's been talking about, right?
Yeah, I gotta get that.
I have that. The whole thing. I picked that up still need to check it out, but that's on my list because I've heard a lot of good things about it. So I never knew that Flash had like the ring that he kept his costume in.
Oh yeah.
I never knew that. So he
That
just
made
like
it into the cartoon one time.
he shoots the costume out and then he speeds into it super fast. That's pretty great actually.
He has like a drawer of them.
What, a drawer
in the cartoon?
Oh yeah. Well, this is like just like this ring thing where it just comes out like spaghetti or Play-Doh or something, and then he like hops into it while it's airborne.
Oh, they have that on the cover.
Yeah, that's that whole
I was trying to figure out what was going on with that.
And
like, are they summoning a ethereal Flash?
Yeah, one of these other ones that I opened up had like the Flash Junior was doing the same thing. So like all the Flashes get their honorary Flash rings. I wonder if the Green Lantern makes those for him.
They gave me some other recommended searches with the top when we looked up him, and they gave me Lisa Snart, aka Golden Glider, but
Lisa Snart.
Snart.
Who came up with
that name has issues, I think.
Lisa Snart, the next hero of the DC universe.
Oh no, really?
Yep.
Oh, look at her cute little skirt
Captain.
that makes no sense. It hugs her hips, but everything else flies out.
Captain Cold's younger sister. So she is also cold?
I guess, she has ice skates on. That makes no sense.
Does she have...
Wait a minute, is that why she's a glider?
She became a figure skater to get out of her abusive household.
What are her powers?
Wearing figure skates.
That's a great power.
Oh, I guess she was a black
If
lantern.
she doesn't, ninja jump to slice people with those things, it's a wasted opportunity.
Yeah, where's that?
Is being a lantern even a power anymore? Because they keep giving
Weapons,
everyone
Black
rings.
Lantern ring. Hang on,
Or
scroll
maybe.
up.
Where am I going?
Weapons, Black Lantern ring, weaponized tops. What?
Oh, she hang out with the
Captain
top?
Cold's cold gun.
I think she's part of the Captain Cold's group or whatever.
It's the
Who's
Captain
leader
Cold
there?
Cold gun. Captain Cold.
They
He's
have like an
leader of the-
anti-Flash squad
the
or
Captain
something.
Cold.
No, okay, this is
Yep,
a really
the-
stupid statement, so just bear with me. When they say tops, they mean like a little like toy, right? Or
Yeah.
they talk-
Yes.
Oh, thank God.
You
And
didn't
she
mean
like just rips off her shirt at this point, just considering we're female.
Oh.
Lips are glowing.
I thought you meant like...
She fights with the power of cold nipples.
45 appearances of Lisa Snart. 15 images featuring Lisa Snart.
You think they try to just have her like all up in costume all the time, like they never do any on the street
Here's
backstories
her
with
getting
her?
all awesome with her fucking ice skates.
What? In the...
And she's a zombie.
What she has like Punisher skull costume.
Look at that face.
What the fuck? Wait.
Ah.
And
We're
she's got
looking
her
at-
blades on, right?
But here's
Lisa-
the thing,
Lisa
the body's
Snart
still
kicking-
sexy.
Is that Captain Cold that she's kicking? Lisa
So
Snart
we'll
in her
just-
Punisher
we'll just-
Black Lantern get up
We'll
kicking.
just scroll
Captain
down
Cold.
and oh yeah.
Oh goodness.
What else do we got? We have her doing this. Here's when she was still alive.
God, this is the best.
Yeah, there she is. Even back then, slicing up dudes. I guess he was already spiky, so that's kind of,
All I can think of is Blades of
Ironic.
Glory. She's just gonna behead people. Okay, look at this. I have 226
he's
of
obviously meant
the
to be
Flash
a
in here,
service character,
and
so
look
whatever.
at this cover.
Oh, it's
Like
awesome.
pretty awesome, like realistic
The
stuff.
anatomy makes
Look at the
sense.
inside with like super cartoon Flash with a giant chin.
Holy crap.
Let me
This is
see.
like Jay Leno.
Does he look
like-
like the Crimson Chin?
It's one of
He,
those.
does, he sort of does it.
He totally does. It's one of those
There's the Crimson
things
Chin.
where it's just like you get the book for the cover, and then you're incredibly disappointed when you
That's
have
not
to
the
unwrap it
worst.
from the plastic.
No, it's the Anna Hughes syndrome. And Terry Dodson
Wow.
blaming you too.
Ooh, that is
It's all Terry
Flash.
Dodson's fault.
Get out of here, we're recording.
We haven't even.
Yeah, this is like
Introduce the show,
super hunky. 45-year-old The Flash.
Go towards the end where he, like, for some reason has some stubble and stuff. I love those drawings of him where he's just like, I feel like that's closer to what the Flash needs to be, because like he's always been one of the funnier DC characters to me.
Oh, that chin. Yeah, there we go. They at least draw him kinda skinny and scrappy looking, but
yeah,
that face does not match at all. It's just big ass chin.
I'm gonna introduce us since we're already like 20 minutes into recording.
This would be like a good Superman.
Hello and welcome to the Grad Lab Podcast. We are here looking at a giant grab bag of The Flash from across the ages. It's not really across the ages. It's kind of just like
5 years ago.
Yeah, pretty recent. But like, what is this? Issues 221 to like 230 or something like that, or 228. Oh man, this 228 cover with Flash just like screaming and holding these babies. Oh no, he's in a graveyard and it says "Rest in peace, Barry Allen, fastest man alive." We did some more time traveling nonsense, I'm guessing.
Raced into the grave.
If there's not, like, if they have this cover of Flash with the babies and then don't actually have the Flash like saving infants in this comic, I'm going to be
like someone upset. Throwing babies out of the window and the Flash has to catch them all.
Yeah. Well, they're in a graveyard. Like Nightwing and Flash are chilling, like hanging out in the graveyard, just like screaming their heads off. Did I show you this cover yet?
With babies?
Yeah.
Get away from our babies!
These crying like baby twins, and it looks like they're his kids.
To the mausoleum. Keep the babies safe in there.
Okay, at least Nightwing has showed up, so there's still hope. I'm still flipping through it. Oh, there's Cyborg.
What's he doing there?
He's kind of just
being a bad fill-in for Iron Man.
Hanging out, testing out some crazy cyborg gun. This is from 2006. This is like 10 years back, before they even did the New 52 business.
Oh, that was the before times when they were kind of just making stuff that had no impact instead of being actively awful.
That's why this is still looking like funny, having a good time Flash. Wait, why did Flash get crab arms?
Oh yeah, what does the Flash do now? Does he just scream and hit people? I haven't checked out. I haven't read any of the New 52.
He travels through time and like makes cameos in Batman movies.
Oh, where he's just for like 5 minutes just awkwardly pitching his movie.
Oh, I got through this thing and there was absolutely no Flash saving babies.
Okay, remember that for the Justice League movie.
He doesn't save a single infant. He just finds past Flash and Flash Jr. hanging out in some sort of steel trap.
In a cemetery?
No, they weren't even in a cemetery the whole time. They're in like this science lab where Cyborg is doing.
But those aren't babies.
Science. I don't know. This is also just like quick scans through, looking at the art and not really paying much attention to the story, so my story complaints are null and void, really. But
they clear these trash, and instead of a grab bag, we should get a garbage bag. No, some of these are
this is the beginning of my brilliant collection of the Flash. Like I'm especially these covers. I'm loving the covers on all of these.
Some of these are fun. This one's fun.
I'm wondering who. I gotta figure out who did the cover.
This one's pretty fun. The art in this one's a lot of fun. But
where do they keep actual credits in here? This month's cover by Art Thiebert and James Sinclair. Good job.
It's kind of interesting.
James Sinclair. That's really awesome.
Because even across the different reboots and timelines, the Flash doesn't change all that much.
Yeah.
There's no version of the Flash that's tortured, from what I can tell.
Hold on, I also get.
Oh, the Reverse Flash. I guess his wife is British. She's like an old timey British lady or something. That's what they dressed her as, but they're in a lab.
So we had a brief introduction, but we'll actually go around to everyone in the room. I'm Jordan Scribner.
I'm Allie Pipitone.
Don Fox.
Sienna Harrelson is hiding behind a desk on her phone. She's here in spirit and body, but
She's
Not
our,
emotionally.
she's
Not
our
emotional.
spirit animal.
not voicing it. Sienna is our spirit animal, hiding in the corner.
The bat.
But yeah, we're
Steam Boy.
back.
I never watched
this
that.
again. Steam Boy.
Yeah, there's an ad for it in this comic.
The
It's like a time capsule of things
Wait,
that are way more interesting than the Flash.
What was Steam Boy another comic or a TV show?
It was
or-
a animated movie. I'm pretty sure it's from Japan, but
Wait, Steam Boy was Miyazaki?
was it?
Was it? I'm probably not.
I don't think-
No, I
think
don't
that's
think
right.
so.
I don't watch this stuff.
Oh no. Meanwhile, in the opposite direction, Wildcats. From
Directed
Jim
by
Lee.
Katsu. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, I'm looking at Steam Boy. Directed by Katsuhiro Otomo. It looks a lot like a World War I or World War II version of God. Why am I blanking on this movie? The Valley, Nausicaa and the Valley of Wind.
Oh man, I have that.
Flying around
I
on a
should
rocket.
rewatch that sometime.
Going yippee ki Mr. Falcon. Have you heard seen any of the TV releases of Die Hard or anything where they actually do stuff like that? Or I've had it with these Monday through Friday snakes on this mother-father plane.
What?
The TV edits are way better than the actual movies, in my
Oh
opinion.
man, is there like a YouTube video of that?
There has to be. Just a
Yes.
bad TV edits. But one of my
remember
favorites is yippee ki Mr. Falcon.
Movie Problem Child 2 had a fart joke, and then in the TV version they edit out the kid farting with a bat. They take a still where he made a weird face and just stretched that out and put a sound effect of someone burping over it, and that was how they censored it. And I remember seeing that, and I was thinking, you gotta be kidding me.
That's amazing. This is I'm still looking at the Steam Boy description. This is a really concise.
Oh, dude, the
really
TV
concise
version of
description.
Showgirls is amazing.
Of Showgirl.
Because they have to censor a lot of what Elizabeth Berkley says. But they got someone who sounded nothing like her and has a southern accent. So it's obvious whenever there's an edit. And it always sounds really weird and out of place. So it's already a stupid movie.
That's amazing.
The edit kind of makes adds its own special flavor of awful to it.
That's going to be a thing every week now. We got to bring in a grab bag and play around with it. I have a Thor one for next week, so look forward to that. I have no idea what year it's from or what it is. I'm not sure if I would have preferred a completely random grab bag or not, but getting the little time capsule, like you said, is pretty fun. See if I can find one from further back, but that might be unlikely.
Let's see.
Getting
Flash
anything
versus
earlier than the
Red
90s might be
Wings.
difficult.
Let's see, what do we have ads for? Batman Begins. Ugh.
Oh, right. That was
Before we were all exhausted with Batman.
the hot new thing. I don't know how we were. I mean, I guess they were still not doing it nearly as frequently.
Remember when the
There were
idea
a
of
lot of Batman movies before that?
Back when deconstructing Batman was a novelty.
Back when deconstructing any superhero was still such a huge thing. That was only was The Incredibles 2003 or 2005?
I just looked it up.
Something. But
Flash still fights Gorilla Grodd. They don't just have him fighting another angry guy that punches him.
2004, I was in between. But I love all the Flash villains.
Wait.
Dude, they're
He just
a lot
said
more
Snart.
Snart?
Oh.
Was it a cameo for Lisa Snart?
No, I think that's Captain Cold's last name.
Well, yeah, because
They're
Captain Cold is
related.
Lisa Snart's brother.
Yeah. But he's still lame. It's still a dumb name. They might as well have called them Shark.
Wait, they're not Mr. Freeze's kids, are they? Who's Captain Cold in relation to Mr. Freeze? I'm gonna find this out.
They're not related. I think Captain Cold just wears a parka and has a freeze gun.
Okay, so it's just like specifically Flash's Mr. Freeze as opposed to Batman's.
He's not really like Mr. Freeze at all. I don't think, it's kind of like how the Penguin is into penguins in the cold, but not in the same way that Mr. Freeze is.
Yeah.
And you'd think they'd have him team up with Mr. Freeze and the Penguin would team up.
Yeah, it could just be, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a snarky team name that involves ice. I don't know. I don't have the energy to put into coming up with a clever ice-based DC team name.
What about snow? Because I feel like the team could be the Blizzard, but the individuals, like members, are snowflakes. Combine.
It could be just like Freeze and it could be like a band, Freeze and the Snowflakes.
That's what I call the white cats in our neighborhood. There's a lot of white strays.
It's like Mr. Snowflake.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, there's no relation. Just one of the many ice-related supervillains in the DC universe. But you gotta. I guess I'll have. What is this on the Wikipedia page for Captain Cold? He's just like pictured above a pile of frozen, like dead bodies, and then the Flash is just kind of stuck in there.
What?
It's some sort of cover for like a Captain Cold, and
is that one of the new ones?
Probably.
If there's a pile of dead
new.
bodies.
Can't find where this cover is from.
Fun times for everyone.
Flash Volume. No, this is earlier. The Flash Volume 2, number 182 from March 2002. So, and there's Michael Champion as Captain Cold in the 1990s Flash TV series. That's pretty fun and looks pretty much exactly like a low-budget version of Mr. Freeze from was it Batman Forever that he showed up? Or which Batman was Mr. Freeze in? Batman Forever? Was it the Tim
I'm pretty
Burton
sure
one?
it was Forever.
Yeah, the one with the Bat credit card.
Poison Ivy was also in that, so was Bane.
Batman Forever is
Bane was in that?
Yeah, Bane was in
that. Yeah, everyone was in Batman Forever.
Batman was in that. Superman was in it.
That's like we don't need like dark new Batman v Superman. We need another Batman Forever.
Batman Forever was amazing. Those 90s Batmans will forever be my favorites.
Yeah, that's exactly why Lego Batman looks like it's going to be awesome, as opposed to their actual attempts at making Batman cool, like the ones where they're just making fun of Batman and making him a like goofy psychopath are way better.
They take Batman way too seriously. They focus on the one aspect of his character, and that's that he's sad all the time, angry all the time. Those are his 2.5 facial expressions.
Parents died.
That's
about my parents.
I'm really sad about it. My mom used to make me cookies.
Don and I were
Alfred has the recipe, but it's not the same.
That's Don was talking about what if Batman was perfectly well adjusted.
Isn't there a comic where at one point Superman just goes to Batman? He's like, "Look, Bruce, my parents are dead. My entire planet is dead."
Yeah. I don't know if that was like an actual comic or if that was like a fan comic or something.
If it is an actual comic, at that point Batman needs to slap Superman. That's just how it always ends. Is that like he always slaps people and tells them that his parents are dead. We fucking get it. It's been in every reboot. There's my swear for this episode.
They went down Crime Alley because that was a good idea. Like seriously, where's the version of his dad that just went like, hell no, we're not going down Crime Alley.
We're not going to go down
like
the back road at like late night in the middle of freaking Gotham.
They left the movie because Bruce was terrified, and then they took him down Crime Alley. So it's kind of like maybe they had it coming.
What if they just like go out the front door and like have their chauffeur bring the car around, and then leave like you would expect the Waynes to leave the opera or the movies or whatever version of whatever they were going from. And then Batman's parents don't die, and then Batman grows up with his parents, and then he becomes a psychopath, psychopath vigilante anyway, because that's just how like mentally disturbed he is.
Hobby.
Yeah, it's just how he went. Like he goes and spends all day running Wayne Enterprises and having a good time, doing good work, making some money, and then at night, because he can't get to the gym with his busy schedule, he just decides to put on a suit and go beat up some thugs.
At that point, though, it's just like not super genius Iron Man. Because he's just like a rich guy that really has nothing going for him.
Yeah.
Except he likes to punch people. But
Yeah.
don't kill
Well, that was
them,
like-
except in the new Superman movie, where it's okay to have guns.
Well, it's like his.
Yeah, and the thing is, Iron Man's parents are dead too. They
But
died
he's not a
tragically.
here's the difference: is that Iron Man always hated his dad, anyways. Like Tony Stark did not get away with.
That's fair, but at the same time, I mean, Iron Man has troubles, but he's not a humorless, completely miserable jerk.
That's
I
because
like
Iron
Batman.
Man's writers know how to write.
I don't.
I mean, there was a point where Iron Man was an alcoholic, so yeah, I mean, some of
There's
that
also a
stuff,
point where he
yeah.
was loose, so.
Yeah, no, that's. I was just
What?
about to say. I just finished reading through the Ultimate Iron Man series, and that like the Ultimate series like was just like, oh, these superheroes aren't badass enough, so we got to give them a bunch of extra nonsense. And so Iron Man or Tony Stark was born after his mother like was attacked by some chimp they were experimenting on with like nano regrowth cells, and it like made a rupture in her suit, so she got attacked by this monkey that had these nano cells in it, and they infected Tony as like a wee little sperm baby, and made it so that he grew up to be composed entirely out of brain cells. So like his whole body is evenly distributed throughout his brains, and he has nano machines in his body that he can control with his mind.
How does that work? How does
So,
his body being all brain work?
It's like it's I don't know if his body isn't like all brain. It's just like all of his cells also have brain cells, so it's just like evenly distributed. So then they also make it like he can get blown up in the Iron Man suit and like like he constantly loses limbs in the Ultimate Iron Man, but they just like grow back in a day. They like put a plastic wrap over it, and he grows his arm back.
That
And
what?
And so he, I don't know. I only found the.
No, I kind of get why they blew up the
trades.
Ultimate Universe.
I only found like the first 2 trades of Ultimate Iron Man. I don't know if that's the end of Ultimate Iron Man or if they can just continue it in other stories, but they had like a thing in it where he gets like a chunk of his body blown off, and then the chunk that gets blown off is also trying to regrow itself. So I don't know if they go like, oh no, now it regrew itself, but now there are 2 Tony Starks.
What?
Okay, I have a
Yeah, if he got sliced out the middle, what would happen? Would it just be whatever happened to be the biggest chunk of Tony Stark would grow
I
back?
think they would both grow back.
But like, is it like a Hydra where like they grow like each chunks off an arm and then 2 grow in its place? Like, because that'd be kind of cool.
It's
No,
just
okay,
like the.
Parenting of the year question. When all of this went down, like, did Tony Stark's mother know she was pregnant? Was she? What
Tony
was going
Stark's
on?
mother knew full well that
So
she was
she
pregnant,
decided to go
and
wrestle
she
with
went.
some damn apes because
she would-
she's pregnant, and
Yeah.
like, was it her craving? Did she want pickles and ice cream too?
They were
What's wrong
doing.
with her?
She was like, like Howard Stark falls in love with this scientist because she's working on this regenerative stuff. Like he like starts working with her and falls in love with her because she's working on the regenerative stuff while he's also working on this nanomachine body armor that eats away. Like it's spray on body armor that can like
Is it there?
stop bullets and like stabbings and stuff like that, but it eats away at the skin after enough time that if you can't like regrow your skin, you can't wear the body armor. And so when baby Tony Stark comes out made completely out of brain cells, the air is like painful to him because it's in contact with his brain cells, so they have to cover him with this blue spray-on body armor so that he can be protected from from the air, and at the same time he's able to wear it because his skin is constantly regrowing itself while this nano armor is like eating at. So that's where he gets the nano machines from, I guess, is from the spray on armor, and he uses these nano machines to like build a cell phone in his hands, or like he uses them to disarm a nuclear bomb while he's stuck on a plane with it.
Who honestly wrote this and believed this was awesome?
The same guy who wrote the Dragon Age, like the
that's right.
Dragon Age comic that I'm talking about.
No, that's right. I remember telling you that fact.
Duty.
My name is Duty. Like the fact they didn't have someone giggle right after he said that just goes to show how terrible the comic that really is.
Not everyone reading it giggles as soon as he's like it. And it's a 5-year-old thing to do, but it's also like a 5-year-old thing to do to write in that your character's name is Duty.
No, he declared that he is Duty.
He
gave up love.
He gave up
like,
his name and his love and named himself Duty.
But then he it was all his fault anyway, and he wasn't willing to accept that responsibility, so he became Duty, which is essentially what that comic was. It was Duty. So I don't. You ever just want to wish you could teleport to these writers and slap them?
Yes.
Maybe give them a
All the
swirly
time.
spit in their face.
Just
What were you thinking? Get better at your craft. Why can't I get paid to be awful at things?
just sit around at home complaining on Twitter.
Exactly. Watching porn in the background, complaining on Twitter, not even having pants on. That's the dream. I should just start being worse at what I do.
Yes. More derivative.
Yeah.
More mass marketed.
It's okay. I'll color change something famous and say it's mine.
Yeah, just mash two things together, like Doctor Who and The Flash.
You can just hang around and do
Dr. Floosh.
do let's plays of other people's comics.
Man, that's next, isn't it?
Yeah, people are just going to be reading through comics and then adding their commentary and then
you're already seeing it happen
millions.
with television shows. People doing reaction videos.
Reaction videos of someone else's art that they worked hard on, and then people are bringing in ad revenue off of just yelling over the top of it.
That would be it. It would just be people. It's essentially what we're doing right now.
So that was
just make money yelling and getting angry about things.
That was my super organic segue into the next thing that I wanted to bring up. You've all heard of the video game That Dragon Cancer? No, it's a video game that's on Steam now, and it's a very, very personal narrative video game, more like an interactive novel or interactive story that's about a guy who lost his 2-year-old child to cancer. And guess what's getting big in Let's Plays? People playing this game about a man who lost his child to cancer, and people watching the Let's Plays instead of paying $15 to actually get the game on Steam and play through it, and then getting angry when the Let's Plays get flagged for copyright infringement and get taken down, and saying that they have the rights to watch the playthrough of what is essentially just an interactive novel for free.
Why is this a surprise to anybody that suddenly we're infringing copyrights? It's just putting.
Oh no, Allie, it's fair use.
No, it's not.
It's fair use because you said fuck over it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe I should take that into consideration more often in the recording of this podcast.
And
Allie will just start her own podcast that's just her talking over what we record.
It will, and it'll become famous. Nobody will listen to this dribble.
Just inserting yourself into the conversation. That's coming. Oh God, you know that there's going to be people taking podcasts and stuff and then just recording their part of the conversation of it and re-uploading it. And that's their podcast.
There's going to be some jerk that downloads that and be like, this is better than the original. And that'll just be it. That'll be it. This is my claim to fame. Back off, guys.
How do you play through a game that's about like someone losing their child to cancer and then do enough commentary. And do enough commentary over something like that to claim to claim whatever percentage of change you need to be able to claim to have fair use.
No, it's gonna be that same like Tumblr bullcrap where like people sit there and they talk and they complain and they're like, "It got me so sad!" Exclamation point! Exclamation point! One cancer one.
And like they weren't even removing the videos because it was a full Let's Play of their game. They were removing the videos because the music from the game was from a soundtrack from an artist that they worked, a musician that they worked with, that was.
They weren't removing it. They were claiming copyright. No, they were claiming rights to make money off the videos.
Yeah, they were flagging the videos because of the music that was from a musician that they wanted to be able to just like help him sell his albums and make money off it, because this game did not make a lot of money. It's like it's a very
no money.
Small personal project, and it's not making money. And so the guy who made the music for it did so like because he was involved with the project.
You said it was $15. It might actually be free.
No,
not. They said they haven't made any money off it though, so that's why I'm wondering.
Well, yeah, but like it's actually like a pretty in-depth game experience for something that's just for as small of an indie developer as there, and like indie developers have enough time, like enough of a hard time making money off of games on Steam, because like especially something like this, it's like an incredibly niche audience. And
personal story.
Yeah, very personal story that, and it's not like you can't argue.
Your mom, 69, has to make videos about it.
Yeah, you can't argue that it's like, oh, it's the way that I played the game that made it different. Like, there's not different playthroughs to this. There's not like different endings where you can save the child or anything.
Oh, there will be. There'll be mods.
No, but like that's just what it comes down to. Is that like I wouldn't have a problem with Let's Plays if the creators of the game actually got some sort of royalty off of it, because at the end of the day, it's their creation, and you have these people. I get it's interesting, and you want to be able to review things, or if you can't play it for yourself, you don't have the console or the money to spend for a console. It makes sense to have something like that, but at the same time, you're still getting the experience of the game without actually giving the people who created it the due for it.
Yeah.
And that's an issue.
The only thing is you don't have a controller in your hand.
Exactly, and then you've got some jerk named Markiplier screaming over it, and people think it's adorable.
Yeah, and that was they didn't even.
Markiplier is very much of the.
I like PewDiePie too.
There's a facial expression, and then Tumblr makes a GIF of it, and it shows up on the internet for the rest of the time.
And the thing is, even PewDiePie kind of knows that his own innate PewDiePie-ness is kind of annoying.
He kind of backed off there, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he shut down comments on his site because he's kind of tired of that crap too. So it's like I have no problem with him, but like
he's getting
and stuff.
Like, well, the people at Numinous Games, the developer for that Dragon Cancer, they they put the videos back up. They relinquished their claims on YouTube to remove the videos for the music copyright infringement. But they were all that they asked of these people is that they release the videos in like small chunks, because like it's not a long game. It takes like a couple hours to play through or something like that, and they release the videos in. They're asking them that people at least release the videos in small chunks, so it can be more like they watch the first 10 minutes and are like, oh, that looks interesting, I might go get the game, instead of having like the full 2-hour video of the game that people are just going to watch through the entire thing like they're watching a podcast. But
the thing is, when companies try to work with people on it, Let's Players on it, like Nintendo has their content sharing program. And people were howling about that because how dare they? How dare they try to take this away from us?
How dare they try to make money off of their creation that they put their time and resources into?
Yeah, you mean I can't record the entirety of the new Donkey Kong as soon as it comes out and put it? They have a problem with that? Why?
Why do they want to make a profit? Why do they want to be able to create more stuff?
It's advertising. free advertising for their video games.
You don't need to get paid. What you'll get in exposure is so much better.
It's exactly that. It's a depth of exposure at a massive scale.
I think it's the sense of entitlement too. People, like, we
Yeah.
live in a very "I want it now" kind of culture,
Yes.
and people they want everything for free. Look at how many people pirate music or movies or
Or
anything
people get-
else, like
yeah.
or games. What I have the biggest issue in the world with people pirating games.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
didn't
just
do that hardcore, but
Yeah.
it kind of my attitude on it was as soon as Nintendo made it easy for me to just get on their like a website and download a game, it was like, yeah, who cares? It's convenient. Like, that's
Yeah.
all I wanted.
Like I used to pirate games too, and that was before I had like more of a I was like when I was a teenager and had less of an idea of like the actual processes that went into developing a game. Like learning more about that, I went back and bought like all of the games that I had pirated that I spent that much time on and really enjoyed and all that. So it's
But a lot of people don't understand the process. They assume that everything is done easily at the click of a button, or that it doesn't take much to get to where where like an artist gets to,
yeah.
regardless of medium. And it's just that coupled with this entitlement, I want it now,
Yeah.
just leads to kind of like the death of people being able to get paid for their art form.
Yeah, and that's like I can.
You mean, when
There's
people are
there's always the
completely
argument
willing
out
to
there.
insert themselves inside something.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
People are just completely willing to insert themselves inside something regardless of the original intent of the author.
Yeah.
Like, there's a quote from Meredith Graham she made when she did, who's the artist, writer for Octopus Pie, and she did a comic, Marceline and Bubblegum comic for Boom. And she said, oh God, how did she put it? She was like, I can't wait to see all the, I love all the Tumblr kids posting panels, cutting and pasting panels from my comic and putting it up on their Tumblr, like they willed it into existence from sheer force of will.
That's freaking ridiculous.
And that's like the perfect statement because people just they don't understand
No.
the effort and time
Yeah.
and love that goes into this stuff.
And like there's always the argument too of just like, oh, I can't afford to buy all these games that I want to try, especially coming from like younger people who don't have that don't have as much experience in job market or
I
anything.
have bills to pay.
But at the
Yeah,
same
they're
time,
like,
those are the
even
same
that,
people
like-
that walk into FIG class 15 minutes late holding Starbucks. Like,
Well,
it's
it's-
always those jerks.
Holding
It's
Not
like,
even that, like
Starbucks.
people who like I'm talking
Starbucks,
like
but they don't have their assignment.
no.
I'm talking to the degree of like the people who like legitimately have like severe financial issues and like
Right.
try the best to get the most out of the games that they like. That's where the
Yeah.
rise in
That's
like
kinda how I was
open
with
world
pirating.
open world procedurally generated. Spend all your time like exploring these worlds kind of games have really come into fruition because people want more value and more time spent out of their dollar as opposed to like more in-depth quality experiences. And I can totally get that, but that
We need
still
more
like it still needs to
Minecrafts.
something like that. But it still needs to be like considered by people in that situation that
Well, what I
there
mean by
were
that is
a lot of people whose
Minecraft-
livelihoods depend on money being spent on these projects.
Oh yeah. Actually, this is kind of changing the subject now, but Minecraft is 100% of those things where your enjoyment of the game is what you bring into it, but it's still, it's still people are obsessed with it. But you don't really hear about like terrible obsessed Minecraft fans, and I think it's because you got stories.
I mean, there's just
Like not on the level of some of these fandoms. Like we're the like Star Wars fans, like or Star
No.
Trek. Where
yeah, I guess that's because it's such a blank slate, and there's not like the fiction and the canon to be so defensive about. Like the people who, I'd say are obsessed with Minecraft are just like obsessed to the level where they're making like these big fantastical creations, like the kind of people who make the like the Starship Enterprise to scale in Minecraft. That stuff is amazing.
You compare that to something like Warcraft, where it's just pressing the number 2 over and over.
Or something like that Dragon Cancer, where you're like just clicking and watching the demoralizing decline of a man in pain.
Seeing someone's child die before your very eyes, and then you realize that actually happened in real life, and then you post a video or a comment on their YouTube channel calling them an asshole for trying to.
How dare you try to make me aware?
That's really what gets me, is that this person went through something really, terrible and awful, and people are just trying to turn it into another circle jerk about internet culture.
Oh, of course, and it's all like, this triggers me. My great grandma, who I talked to maybe once in my life, died of cancer. This is a trigger, and it makes me sad.
Yeah. Oh, we'll put Tumblr on trial eventually. We'll just be like, oh, show us on the doll where Star Wars touched you.
There's a reason.
Was it in the heart?
No, it was wherever Ray is.
I still haven't seen The Force Awakens. Jordan, you were thinking about getting that.
I'm thinking about getting it on Blu-ray. Cause I want some of the hype to die down so that I can not feel so pressured to get it, because I thought it was a good.
Don't you love Kylo Ren and emo?
I do love Adam Driver, actually, because he's pretty fucking hilarious.
R2D3?
The one,
I don't know.
BB-8, the one who they brand oranges after. Did you ever see that going into the supermarket before the Star Wars release? Just bags of oranges that had BB-8 on it, because BB-8 kind of looks like an orange.
That is silly.
Nothing like an orange.
He's got orange accents, and he's a ball, so that's close enough to an orange.
That's not what an orange looks.
It's close enough to an orange to make money.
Allie, close enough. We gotta sell T-shirts.
Okay,
we gotta sell oranges and light side, dark side
you
makeup.
gotta put Kylo Ren in the goddamn Monopoly. I gotta buy it. That made me mad.
That whole thing where they wouldn't put Rey in the Monopoly
Ray,
game.
I'm sorry. Which one's Kylo Ren? Is he the Darth Vader?
Kylo Ren was the Darth Vader. Rey was the girl who
That gives you an idea of how little investment I have in it.
And the fact that
I have no stake in it. They can keep making Star Wars movies forever. I don't care. I
They
just
will.
don't see them.
They have one planned every year for the next 5 years.
It's like, wow, Star Wars is really special.
Next
now.
year, or later this year, is Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Then the year after that is Episode 9. Then the year after that is either Han Solo or Boba Fett is getting their own spin-off. And then the year after that is Episode 9. And then the year after that is whichever Han Fett or Boba Fett one wasn't. They have They have another timeline. So they have the Marvel timeline, they have the Disney timeline, they have the Star Wars timeline.
No, what all this is coming down to is Disney is looking at what it did for Kingdom Hearts. And they're like, wow, we've got this actual trilogy. Or however many we want. But now we're going to do all these crappy spin-offs that
who's looking at...
You mean where it's just
that's
not...
time till you can't compare Kingdom Hearts and Star Wars, because no one's looking at the Kingdom Hearts spin-off model and thinking, oh, that's a great idea.
No, but it seems similar to that. Let's just cash in as much as we can.
When did Kingdom Hearts 2 come out? How long ago? The fact that we have to look it up at all is a bad sign.
Yeah, it's Kingdom Hearts 1 was 2002.
No, it must have been.
They're trying to Marvel.
I want to say 2005.
So they're trying to Marvel method where they just want to keep it on.
Don, you want to put a year in? Wait, for Kingdom Hearts 2, I would say 2000. It's 2005 or something. Let's see.
I'll look it up.
Yep, December 22nd, 2005.
Kingdom
I was saying 2002 for Kingdom Hearts 1, so I was probably right on that too.
Sora's Pants tutorial.
Sora's Pants tutorial?
What?
Oh, it's cosplay. That makes sense.
Need some help for puffy pants? How do you
I thought there was
some
gameplay function in the game where you had to
Is it the same?
Like a mini game where you zip up his pants with all the zippers.
There's a flash game. There's a flash game out there where you get to
there's
zip and unzip the majesty of Sora's pants.
There's a flash game. I remember this only because I used to follow this person on DeviantArt and just stopped following them afterwards, and then I gave up on DeviantArt and the internet altogether. But there's a dress up game. I'm pretty sure there's Sora, but I know for a fact there's Riku, where you can undress them and rub their nipples, and they blush.
There were those. There are millions of those Flash games. Like, I'm pretty sure they're still coming out constantly, but like when Newgrounds was still like the big thing, and there are tons of those
Newgrounds is a
cringy, terrible Flash games.
They've got them for like all the Full Metal Alchemist characters. Like this person just went on a binge. Like, you know what's really awesome? Rubbing virtual titties.
All those characters are like 12, and no one stopped to think about that for a second before putting that all over Newgrounds.
And the age of consent in some other states is 16, so it's close enough. It's not illegal down here.
Oh no.
It's like, you look at Sora and you don't even know how he'd get his shirt off. It'd take like 5 hours to undo all those buckles.
I don't think it matters. Maybe he's like the Flash. His metabolism is just so fast he doesn't have to poop.
Yeah. So he just never takes his pants off?
Yeah.
He just, like, if he's with a lady, just, like, he just has to really want it.
They exist in a world where they are born with their clothes bonded to their skin.
He's like, that's right, baby. I'll take the 10 hours it'll take to undo these 2 million zippers I got.
You'll see my Keyblade one of these days.
That's why Kingdom Hearts 3 is taking so long.
I know. Well, here's my thing. It's like Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to come out, and if they still have Hallie Joel Osment in it, like the second voice change is going to scare me. Because like going from the first game to the second game and hearing that Sora's balls dropped was very frightening.
Look at this. You think he has enough straps? Like 1, 2.
He's got to hold on his
belt,
legs.
and then he has straps around his thighs.
He can't just zip his pants.
He's got 6 more straps on his shoes, 6 more on his hands.
Then he has pockets, and then he has straps over the pockets, and then straps over his gloves on his hands, and then another strap over his wrists.
He's remaining secure.
And then a chain around his neck that appears to be attached to his shirt just in case, I guess, his head comes off.
Go to the Kingdom Hearts design for Cloud.
Oh no.
No.
Yes.
Oh no.
That's the worst.
I already don't like this character.
I forgot why we're talking about this, but now I don't care.
Because we're talking about Star Wars.
That's right.
And the model.
Yes, they mentioned that Star Wars can make it into Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
And how horrible will that be?
Oh no.
Are they going to do the same thing they did with like Pirates of the Caribbean?
I hope they do.
It's going to be the same thing as Pirates of the Caribbean, where they do try to make them look still exactly like Pirates of the Caribbean or like Star Wars, and it's going to be really awkward having these cartoon characters wander around.
Well, the biggest issue for me wasn't even the style difference; it was the color difference.
You mean that Goofy doesn't fit aesthetically with Captain Jack Sparrow?
No, okay, look at the screenshots. I will forgive the random how much the styles don't mix. But just look at how dark the world is.
Oh yeah,
and then you've got
glow.
these super saturated, glowing, bright kids and a weird dog thing and a duck
Donald
walking
Duck.
around. And nobody ever questions it. Jack Sparrow's just like, oh, that's totally fine.
That's like one of the best parts of the whole
delivering
game.
Dramatic dialogue like that.
I know, it was awesome.
Whenever Donald Duck gets to talk about all of the complicated fantasy storyline that's going on in the backdrop, it's so great.
Aww.
Oh no.
Oh sweet.
Oh,
It's
where
like-
are Cloud's legs?
Maybe if
Cloud
that
is just
were
Cloud is just coming out of
He broke
Leon's
pants.
sword.
It's coming out of his pants, alright?
I just pulled up some fan art,
for
and it
for
looks like,
context, yeah.
from what I could tell, Cloud and Squall was making out with Cloud, but he broke his neck first.
Oh, that's right. They
And then
changed his
Cloud
name.
is just growing out of Squall's waist.
No, he's coming out of his pants. It's a
coming out of his
metaphor.
belt.
Christ, do people not read fan fiction?
Oh. And the sad thing is
Cloud
the official
confirmed for
art.
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Hold on, you know what's even worse than
They
Kingdom
weren't gonna
Hearts'
drop- They were going
artwork?
to drop that, I thought.
There is one more layer of Tetsuya Nomura.
Oh no.
Oh,
Dissidia.
oh goodness.
No.
That's
Why?
right.
Why would you do this?
Could you imagine
Sick
Imagine
individual.
Darth Vader in this style.
that's what I want to see. I want to see them
Where's
they don't need to put Sora and
There we
Donald
go.
and Goofy in the Star Wars universe. They need to bring the Star Wars universe into Kingdom Hearts. I want to see
They probably will.
Oh god, I want to see Kylo Ren like covered in zippers and straps and talking about how sad he is.
They've released a little bit of like a list of like who's going to be in Kingdom Hearts. Lilo and Stitch is, isn't it?
Yeah, Lilo and Stitch.
Lilo and Stitch already.
Toy Story is Toy Story is going to be in there. Big Hero 6 is going to be in there.
Whoa, you don't like Big Hero 6?
I don't.
Bet you don't like big dumb eyeballs on characters.
It wasn't even that. Like artistically, I thought the movie was beautiful. Like the saturated colors were awesome. There's Tifa got bigger titties.
Oh, I forgot. But this is something else.
But like artistically, it was awesome. But
Bulimia.com.
story-wise, it was just boring.
Oh, it's the thing where they're adding weight to characters to make them look more realistic. That's a.
I don't know.
You got tons of those. But what is the they got Big Hero 6 and what was the other one? Who wants to bet that they're going to delay production another year so they can fit Zootopia into Kingdom Hearts?
Honestly, I wouldn't mind.
They should.
I like Zootopia though, and I've been waiting for Kingdom Hearts 3 so long. I don't even have a PS4. They'll never release it for PS3. I don't really care.
But it's a whole thing where it's like they keep releasing little teaser snippets, and then they keep saying like in production. They're not even going to give like a rough estimate of a year or anything. It's gonna. Yeah. I feel like it's gonna be the kind of thing that's going to turn into Half-Life 3. It's just going to get so drawn out that it's never going to happen because it just can't happen anymore.
And I came to that conclusion long ago. Like, I lost faith in Kingdom Hearts after 365.
It's been 11 years since Kingdom Hearts 2.
You mean the million sequels with dumb names?
Well, what was that first one that they were not Chain of Memory, but the ones in
358 over 2 was
downright awful. And then they released that one for the PSP with
Birth by
Terra
Sleep.
and whatever. Birth by Sleep, which I had so much hope for, and it turned out to be just as bad. I think I got halfway before I was like, it wasn't worth getting a PSP.
Yeah.
Because, actually PSPs are great if you hack them.
Oh, see, I have the original one, so I don't know what to do with it.
Oh, I can hack that. I can hack that in like 5 minutes for you.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, it's just sitting around in my apartment right now.
I know you said you're not into piracy, but it's actually handy for some other stuff.
Yeah.
Well, my bestie's had a PSP and he only ever used it for porn. He had like 2 games on it and then never bought another one.
Well, you can put an SD card.
Admittedly, the PSP was a pretty good multimedia device. I did like using it for that.
The problem I had with it is that I broke the joystick thing within, I think, 2 hours of having it. I was diddling too fast.
Kind of like my 3DS, where the screen already has crystals leaking out, and I don't know why, because there's no crack or anything.
I mean, with the exception, I've like replaced the actual joystick part in it several times now, and I don't mean just the button, like taking the thing apart and putting a new piece, and I just
bring that into class sometime, and I'll take like 5 minutes to do that for you.
Well, there's a chunk to cut out of the podcast or talk of. Just go ahead and
That's okay. Jordan edits it all anyway.
We're actually like.
This is like let's wrap up. I think.
Yeah, we're like an hour and 10 minutes into recording. So let's wrap up with the last question. The last question of the day: who cares if Superman is a god, and why is his mom 15?
Oh no.
There's like no.
Getting into this.
There's not. I mean, there's not much more. There's not much more to say like that we really should say about that. It's just that like bad casting.
Well, we've talked about this. Women are not bangable after the age of 25.
Yeah, you just can't.
We're not. I mean, let's be honest. It's always saggy, but it gets even worse. And you just don't want anything to do with that. So why would anybody look at an older woman and be like, oh wow, she's actually still pretty. I wonder if she can still bear my children. That's the role. It's just like, how hard can you screw Superman's mom?
Yeah.
And would you want to fantasize about it?
Gotta make Superman's mom young, and Wonder Woman is like 5'8".
Oh, and a model. She's not an Amazon.
The fact that Superman's mom has to be a object of sexual desire is super weird anyway.
But, I know. But
no, I mean, I understand.
That's essentially the portrayal of women in most things in life these days.
Yeah.
Like,
that they do that she has to be sexy, and then that means that she has to be played by a younger woman. Like, the whole thing is messed up and weird.
That's just a Hollywood program. Like you can't cast a woman if they're over 30, and you can't cast anyone if they're not white. So
But,
I'm not even saying Superman's mom can't be attractive. You know what I mean? It's just weird that they made that.
No, it's just
Yeah.
it's the male gaze kind of thing, not just it's the Hollywood male gaze. Obviously, not all guys are like that, but it just starts to get tiring after a while.
Yeah.
Women aren't taken seriously in the media; they aren't taken seriously in movies. So, why do we try at this point?
Just give up.
Feminism.
Like nihilist feminism. That's the next wave.
I just want to be seen as a person. I will give up the rights to have people carry my stuff for me if I can have equal pay and maybe see a woman over the age of 30.
Oh, Allie, you didn't hear me offering to pay you back for this hot chocolate, so.
I didn't. Because you're an entitled jerk. I know. I came in, I did my duties as the woman on this podcast. I got drinks for everybody. And then, no, I paid for it out of my pocket, with my hard-earned government money.
Oh,
So,
yeah, don't ask me what I use my financial aid for.
Sienna said something, but it didn't actually record.
She said something earlier, but she was on the other side of the room.
Damn it, you've been clever about this. Oh, she laughed. I bet you got that.
Mythical scene.
Sienna's
Did you stop
real.
recording?
She's not behind your table anymore.
Oh.
She's real.
I should probably stop
Yeah,
recording.
we're gonna, on the note of people asking whether or not we stopped recording, we're gonna stop recording. So
Yeah, let's stop recording. Because
Thank
Women
you
are
for-
people.
We'll have the Batman discussion next time. We'll do a Superman episode.
And Foreskin Man.
Foreskin Man.
yeah.
Do not.
coming
The
up,
hero we need.
coming up next week, literally, it's Foreskin Man.
Oh,
We'll
boy.
talk to you later. Bye.